Having a goal is very important to have. Goals and achievements are a basic of motivation for a lot of people. We need motivation to do things or things that we want to do in life. Like, there's of course long term goals, short term goals. It depends on what you want to achieve, the objective of that goal, and what that brings you. So, what's your goal? What do you want to do with that goal? What's your motivations? What do you want to achieve in life? What are your long term goals, your short term goals? You need to plan this out in life in order to get by, in order to achieve everything that you want to do. Everyone has goals. It could be like even simple things like uh, tasks, like going out to buy groceries or going out with friends. Like, my main motivation to continue this channel is to like talk about the things that I love and like self-expression. My main goal is self-expression and get all of these things out into the world for every one of you to see. So, what are those for you? Because if you lose sight of your goals, if you can't respond to these simple questions, it could lead to a lot of problems. It could, if you have a goal and a motivation, but you lose sight of that motivation in the first place, and you only have the goal, it can lead people to lose sight of everything that's important to them. It can lead to sensations of loss and hopelessness and like emptiness. And that's what I want to talk about. Why is it important for you guys to plan out your goals, and what what to do if you start to feel like you have lost sight of that? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Academic YouTube channel. My name is Alex, and I welcome you back to my channel. I am so glad to have you back here. This is my baby. Look, he is going to be with me here. So, like I said, I want to talk about what it is to lose sight of important goals and the motivation behind those goals. Why is it important to get better at realizing those negative emotions and express them with friends and family? The person that I want to talk about is Tomiyama Choji, the leader of Shishitoren uh, in Windbreaker. I already talked about Umemiya, Sakura, and Tsubakino in this channel, and like I want to talk about now is uh, Tomiyama, because he is also a very fascinated character, and also a very good depiction of a foil character or someone to draw parallelism with Sakura's character. At the beginning, when we meet Tomiyama, he's very crazy. He has empty eyes. He's always seeking to have fun via fighting. He's always ready for a fight and to throw down against Umemiya, mainly because Umemiya is the strongest. But Tomiyama's way of going about seeking strength and seeking fighting is not really good when we meet The whole Shishitoren squad is extremely messy. Uh, Togame is another beast entirely, and Shoji is just wanting to fight everything and everyone. We later find out that Tomiyama's wanting to become stronger, to fight opponents stronger than him, is because he wants to have fun. For him, fighting is fun. For him, wanting to fight stronger and stronger opponents is a source of fun, of dopamine. Like we find out, this is not uh, something that actually serves him because the he he feels empty. Like fighting is kind of like a drug. He needs more and more and more in order to feel something, because he can feel that same rush of adrenaline and happiness in fighting that he once had when he first joined Shishitoren, and he doesn't know why. We don't know anything about Shoji's past. Uh, we only have like small glimpses of what could be, but we don't know really his whole backstory. We just know what led him into the state that he is in and what Shishitoren has transformed into in his leadership. But the only thing that we know is that he doesn't know how to pick. Uh, the only thing we kind of know that it's not related to the Shishitoren is that he doesn't know how to pick food with chopsticks. He doesn't know how to use them. Similarly to Sakura and Susuri. And the only thing we know about those two and why they can't pick things with chopsticks, Sakura, is because he was neglected and abused his entire life. So no one ever showed him how to pick chopsticks as a kid. And Susuri comes from Subona district, which is the poorest district of. Choji can be kind of like that he was either abandoned, he's poor, or something along those lines. When we see how Shoji used to be in Togame's flashback, how happy and how he's like an excited kid. He's like a bunny rabbit just bouncing around, dragging people along. He is often compared by Togame himself as the sun. And this is also related to his name, like Tomiyama's name uh, has the character for bunny. Togame has the character for turtle. They are kind of like the representation of the turtle and the hare. Uh, and if you know that fable, the hare just rushes along and just believes that he is the one that's going to win because he is the fastest out of everyone. He gets very overconfident, kind of sleeps a bit, and when he wakes up, it's the turtle that wins. And that's really a representation of Tomiyama's character. Tomiyama is someone who burns so brightly and goes so fast. He wants to be the leader of Shishitoren. He wants to be the strongest ever. He wants to fight. He wants to feel this rush of adrenaline and uh, dopamine that fighting can get you, not realizing that the things that he needs are right in front of him. And when he finally has that, when he finally became the leader of Shishitoren, he becomes the strongest of his group. Like these strong emotions began to dwindle and began to dwindle until it leaves him empty. In his rush to have that goal met, he lost sight of everything that was important. and it led him to push everyone away because, like, if he was the strongest, then no one can compete with him anymore. There was no competition, there was no rush, and it led him to just become empty and depressed and gloomy. And he began to lash out into the world. He began to lash out to his friends, even his best friend. He became a very different person. This led Togame to like become the villain of the story into something that he is not, because Togame, I want to talk about Togame in another video, but Togame is very kind, but he also hates confrontation, and that hatred for confrontation led to the worst kind of outcome in that he never confronted Shoji about those decisions, about the things that he was doing. And in turn, it led him to carry the burden of expulsing all of those unwanted, all of the scum, all of the weak ones of Shishitoren. And it led Togame to not want to confront the truth that he had to confront Shoji, but he was so scared of breaking that friendship, that thin line that Shoji has planted led him to become something that he was not, because Togame is a very kind kid, but his love for his friend led him to like twist himself, because he didn't want anyone to hate Shoji. So he put the burden on himself. He didn't push Shoji away in like in a mean way. It's more so because he wanted to protect everyone else from Shoji, because Shoji was extremely unstable, because he lost sight of his goal. Because Shoji's goal was to have fun with everyone, to reach the top. He lost sight of that main motivation of fun, because for Shoji, fighting was fun, but he later realizes during the fight with Umemiya that actually it wasn't the fighting itself, it was fighting with his friends that was fun. It was the connections that he made in Shishitoren. It was the fun that they had after a brawl that made him want to continue fighting with them. It was to continue fighting, to become the leader in order to protect them. But he deluded himself into thinking that it was just fighting, it was just wanting to be the strongest, it was just reaching the top. And it parallels really well with Sakura's main motivation when he first arrived at Furin, because Sakura wanted to reach the top of Furin, but he never realized that to reach the top, you actually had to make connections with people, because it's the people that actually mattered in becoming strong. It's connecting, it was those leadership skills, it was the connections you make with the people under you that pushed you up into that leadership. Because just becoming a stronger without no one to protect or no one to push you up leads to what uh Tomiyama goes through. Like, at first, everyone really loved the idea of Tomiyama becoming the leader of Shishitoren. Everyone, all of his group, all of his friend group, including Togame, were so happy that Tomiyama reach the top of Shishitoren. And then disaster struck. He lost sight of that and became the way that he did at the beginning of Windbreaker. The thing is, when you see a friend or you see someone who is going through this, you have to talk to them, you have to confront them. Don't do the thing that Togame did and just stay quiet and enable that. I understand that Togame wanted to protect Shoji, but that's not the way that to go. I will say, like, if I ever see a kid like Shoji in uh, like in one of my sessions, I will probably go through a CBT like program, like cognitive behavioral therapy, where uh, we have to like pray open, like slowly but surely, that motivation, that uh, that dream that he had, the all of those things, all of his behaviors, why those behaviors are actually very detrimental to him and the people around him. Basically, what Umemiya actually did was his sure way therapy session, which included beating the shit out of Tomiyama and headbutting him so hard he went into a flashback and a reflection of his actions. And then, of course, he realizes that what he did was wrong, apologized to Togame for everything that he did. Yeah, it's a very touching scene, but it's actually very funny that what made him reflect was having all of his world being rocked so hard, and then having like basically, I don't know how hard he was hit with uh Umemiya's head, but that's kind of like a concussion. So yeah, like I said, it's very important, if you ever feel like you've lost motivation or you lost the way of that motivation, of that goal, if you ever feel like what I just described about Miyama, that no matter what you do, you feel nothing anymore, that everything doesn't matter anymore, that you want to feel that thing again, but no matter what you do, uh, nothing, like nothing gets better, and you start pushing people away and you start getting angrier and angrier. Talk to someone, talk to your friends. Don't push people away, because pushing people away is a surefire way of being alone and being like wallow, like you will feel worse and worse and worse until eventually you don't care about anything anymore and you will feel nothing anymore. So please don't push people away. We as humans, and I will reiterate it again and again, we humans are social creatures. We need other people in order to feel like ourselves again. So if you ever feel like you're getting angrier and you start lashing out to people, please reflect on your actions. Go through therapy, talk to your loved ones, talk to your friends, and apologize and remind that connections, just like Tomiyama did. Because you check out the manga and everything that happens after the second season, and everything is so much better. There's better communication. There's everyone is having fun again, and Tomiyama is a very like extremely different character before and after his fight with Homemiya in the Shishitorin arc. This also means that, of course, not every therapy is going to work for other people. Apparently, beating the shit out of your friends and punching them can also work. I mean, Tomiyama kind of deserved it a bit because he was being an a-hole. Please be kind to yourself, be kind to other people, and don't lock your heart to everything that's important to you. Remember that a lot of their motivation comes from the people around you and the people that you love. And if you ever lose sight of yourself, there's people around you that can help you bring yourself back into a better mindset. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I I recommend watching Windbreaker if you didn't see it. It's one of my favorite anime and manga right now. So yeah, I will wrap this up today. I will see you guys in another one. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Don't forget to drink water and be kind to the people around you. Take care. Bye bye.